Good morning, Bucknutters. Welcome to the Morning 5 on Friday, October 24th, 2014. I am Dave Biddle. One thing on the mind of many fans is which recruits will close out Ohio State's 2015 recruiting class. The Buckeyes currently have 18 commitments and could end up signing somewhere around 23 players. We'll bring in the Dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurelic, later in the show to forecast how the class will finish. But I want to start off talking about the Ohio State-Penn State game tomorrow night. The Nittany Lions are number 1 in the country in rushing defense and number 6 in total defense. This will be a good test for the Buckeyes' offensive line. It'll also be the first time J.T. Barrett has faced a hostile road environment. This will, of course, be nothing like the Maryland game. Penn State fans hate Ohio State, and Penn State's players and coaches consider the Buckeyes their number 1 rival. They will be up for this one. The question is, how much are emotions worth? As Larry Johnson wisely said on Monday, the best way to quiet down the Beaver Stadium crowd during whiteout conditions is to, quote, score a lot of points and play great defense, end quote. If the Buckeyes are able to score an early touchdown and take the lead, that will be huge. Interestingly, the point spread is holding steady at 14 points. I thought it would be higher by now, but the Buckeyes are still favored by just 2 touchdowns. I say just 2 touchdowns because I think Ohio State will win this one by 3 touchdowns. 38-17 is my prediction. Here's the thing about Penn State. Yes, their defense is highly ranked, but in my opinion, that's because they haven't faced any good offenses yet. The best team Penn State has played this season is Northwestern, and they lost that game 29-6 in Happy Valley. They also somehow lost to Michigan 18-13 in Ann Arbor. Penn State's wins came over UCF, Akron, Rutgers, barely, and UMass. So is Penn State's defense really that good, or has their schedule just been really soft? I think it's the latter, but we'll find out for sure tomorrow night. Now let's go out to the Dean of Ohio State football recruiting, Bill Kurelic, who's going to give updates on the big-time recruits left on Ohio State's board.
With a little over 3 months until National Signing Day, the Buckeyes have 18 verbal commitments after the mutual parting of ways between Ohio State and tight end Joshua Moore, who is now committed to Kansas. So, with 18 commitments in the fold, the Buckeyes have at least 4 more spots in their 2015 recruiting class, and maybe as many as 5. So it's a good time to talk about a half dozen top possibilities to end up in this Ohio State 2015 recruiting class. One of them is certainly quarterback Torrance Gibson. The Buckeyes are in great shape with Gibson, in my opinion, and I think in the end he will be an Ohio State Buckeye. Then there is 5-star running back Damian Harris, who I think will end up choosing either Ohio State or Kentucky. It's a very tight battle right now for Harris, and I think it will go down to the wire as to whether he decides to stay in-state close to home and go with Kentucky or go with Ohio State. For now, though, I'm staying with my pick of Ohio State for Damian Harris. Wide receiver Lawrence Cager has Ohio State as his leader, or at least in his top 2 or maybe top 3. And then you have Canadian defensive lineman Neville Gallimore. It's hard to get a read on which way Gallimore is going to go at this point. He has already taken official visits to Oklahoma and Florida State and will make one to Ohio State. He also will likely take at least one other visit and maybe all 5, but it's safe to say the Buckeyes are very much in the running for Neville Gallimore. Buckeyes want to add an offensive lineman to their 2015 recruiting class. Matthew Burrell has Ohio State as one of his top 2 or 3 choices. And then Josh Waraboko had a very good official visit to Ohio State, went home very impressed. He is going to still make an official visit to UCLA before he makes a decision. He may make other visits as well, but he wants to take at least one other official visit to have something to compare Ohio State with. But right now, the Buckeyes are in pretty good shape with Josh Waraboko. Then Ohio State is also looking to possibly add another defensive back to the recruiting class, and there are a number of possibilities at that position as well. Now, let's go on to talk about 5-star linebacker Justin Hilliard, And of course, there has been a lot of talk about Hilliard this week after Jerome Baker flipped his commitment from Florida to Ohio State. I spoke again with Justin Hilliard, and he told me that he is not worried at all about Justin Baker. As Hilliard put it, if you want to be the best, you recruit the best, and certainly Hilliard wants Ohio State to be the best, and he wants to be the best himself. Now, Hilliard may or may not take another visit to Iowa. He tells me he's not sure at this point. But even if he does, that certainly is not an indication that he is wavering on his Ohio State commitment. He has given no indication at all to me that he is thinking about changing his mind. And when I asked him if he is still committed to Ohio State, he quickly answered definitely.
Thank you very much, Bill. As for Josh Moore, I'm not sure I'm buying it was a mutual parting of ways. It sounds to me like Ohio State backed off of him for whatever reason. But that's the way things go in recruiting sometimes. But breakups are never mutual, and I don't believe this one was either. For more on recruiting, Bill has his daily buzz on the site for subscribers. It includes an item on freshly minted Buckeye commitment Rashad Berry and which position he will play in college. Will Berry be a tight end, a defensive end, or perhaps both? Bill has the scoop. Bill also has an update on Ohio State quarterback commitment Joe Burrow, who tweaked his knee last week, but is fine and will play tonight for Athens. On the season, Burrow is putting up astronomical numbers. Through 8 games, he has thrown for 2,244 yards with a completion percentage of 75 and has 32 touchdowns and just 1 interception. He also has 240 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground and is averaging 5.5 yards per carry. But 32 touchdowns and 1 interception? Wow. 75% completion percentage? This kid is tearing it up. Is Burrow the favorite to win Ohio's Mr. Football Award from the Associated Press? It sure looks like it. If you're not a Bucknut subscriber, this is a great time to try our 30-day free trial. Recruiting is heating up. It's the middle of the season for the Buckeyes as they try and qualify for the inaugural 14 playoff. So give our 30-day free trial a test drive. And the site only costs $9.95 per month after that, which equals out to about 30 cents per day. Thank you to Bill Kurelic. Thank you to all the listeners. I hope you have a great weekend. Take it away, best damn band in the land.